It's a quick introduction to who I am. I work within the UK team for Avaya. Obviously, for those of you who don't know Avaya, I'll give a brief overview of who we are and where we stand in terms of the market. But my role is really to consult, work very closely with Britannic. In the UK, Avaya actually have 400 resellers, whereas Britannic are one of 30 that we work exclusively with because of not only their product knowledge across the board. So we'll talk, we mentioned linked earlier, the integration is very important because we see that Avaya or the IT maybe a small part of projects you're looking to do, so they can offer the wider support in that perspective. They've got a long history and heritage in Avaya, so as a go-to partner, having someone that you can pick up the phone and rely on is very important as well after you may install or look at new products and solutions. Put it in perspective and where Avaya are, as a brand, some people may have never heard of Avaya. We don't make fridges like the Samsungs of the world. What we do very well is, you can see market stats here for the UK. Telephony systems, we're market leaders in everything from 5-user systems to all the way up to the enterprise banks. 9 out of 10 of the world global banks use Avaya, not only in their telephony, in their contact centres as well. So for the sin of when you call up NatWest and you may have a good, bad, and different experience with trying to get through to your account manager, it probably will be an Avaya system. So contact centre, and again I'll go into sort of where we're driving in this word of contact centre shortly and what does that mean. And finally an SME telephony, that's small, medium enterprise telephony. And we'll talk about IP Office as this core product, but what you can wrap around it and grow as a business is something that's really important. You can have a core, and Rich touched upon it, the economy, we all know it's getting better. New trends that are coming into the marketplace gives you the option to say, right, day one, we may have our requirements, but 5 years down the line, we want to know that we've got that roadmap where our business can grow and we can build those applications to complement the business challenges that we're seeing. So, if we look at where mid-market plays and what we have on offer, you can see that at the core is the IP Office, and in the demo later you'll see some of the really good applications and what it can do to complement these business challenges. But with Avaya, we've got a whole plethora of wraparound. If I look, video that Mike's going to go into has been game-changing for us. We'll talk about it. A lot of people think they want video, but they don't really know why they need it. So that consultative, a bit of imagination where it can become a use case is really changing the game. I know for myself and a number of the Britannic account managers, every customer I'm seeing, video is always on the agenda. And it may be that they've touched upon it, they used Skype in the past, they had an old boardroom 10 years ago, it's really changing the game. We might touch more upon that. The networking piece, again, Avaya acquired Nortel back in 2009. With Nortel we had a rich heritage in the old telephony, but equally market-leading networking technology as well. So we've really developed bringing that into the portfolio where it complements the solution, but it also does bring, and I'll talk about the Sochi Olympics shortly, about what you can do from a wireless perspective and where that can, again, some food for thought in terms of if you were deploying or looking at that. The security part of it, we all heard SIP coming into the world, being able to securely route those calls over the internet and your data traffic, need to start thinking about that. You hear these horror stories in the press of companies coming in on a Monday morning and getting a bill from their service provider saying it's 10 grand, where someone has gone on toll fraud, £2.50 a minute, and they've gone in. So you need to be considering how do you securely look after your lines, but equally as mobility rolls out as well, people would bring your own device, for example. Monday morning I've got my iPad, want it to work on our internal network. Okay, well we need to make sure that device is then secure, the information is secure, so you need to have that strategy around, and again Avaya can complement that. Mobility, Rich touched upon it, all that we went through there. Home workers, people out and about, how do they stay connected? How do you get hold of the most important people? Engineering companies, we work with a lot of manufacturing companies that have logistics, shipping, knowing where your people are on the road, are they available for a chat? If they're in a customer, you can't call them, but you can instant message them, for example. It's being able to make your time and efficiency a lot better. And then finally, it's not on here, but we'll touch upon contact centre is really relevant, and I'll move on to the next slide of that. But the idea with IP Office, scaling from 2 to 2,000 users as a system is you've got that headroom to expand. So if I only have 300 users on my system today, I know that I'm not going to hit a brick wall in a year's time when I expand the company. I have to rip it out, put a new bit of hardware, it costs me thousands of pounds. Simple user licenses, software upgrades, it's cost effective, and you can build that bigger story as of when video, Wi-Fi, security comes apart. You know, okay, well I can build on that and complement it. So Sochi Olympic Games, it's something we're very proud of. We had it in the last Olympics in Vancouver, and where in 4 years' time has it changed in terms of providing the networking. What Avaya did for the whole sites of Sochi is we underlay our networking, everything from the wireless to the local area networks and the core of the Olympics. So you've got some stats there in terms of what was running over. We had IP, all of the telephony, all of the communications, all of the video streaming run over the network. And if you think 4 years ago in Vancouver, iPads didn't even exist. So they didn't have the issue of thousands of people bringing smartphones and iPads and wanting to connect. Think of a stadium full of spectators, they're all tweeting. How did the Olympics have to deal with everyone joining that free network securely, access points being able to deal with that volume of traffic, plus all the media. So, you may say, well, yes, it's the Sochi Olympic Games, how's that really benefit my company, what we do for customers? But everywhere you go now for our sins, Wi-Fi, I was on holiday and lucky enough to be out in the Middle East on holiday, and I thought, I'm going to have a 2-week beach holiday, not going to use my phone, turn up to every cafe, and they've got Wi-Fi on there, just going, okay, connect, look at my Facebook, look at, tweets and dribble to my mum. Everyone needs Wi-Fi. So again, when you get customers coming to your site, when you have, again, bring your own device, someone comes in, they want to connect, how are you dealing with it? It's something that's, if it's not a challenge today, it will get more and more. People have 2-3 devices on them, don't like plugging in and moving around the campus. So again, it's being able to approach that and have a secure reason around it. So that was Sochi, and again, the networking piece is very relevant, and it is the core. It's at the base of everything you build on top. So Avaya do have a very good strategy and some interesting thoughts around it. Changing market, what we're seeing in terms of market trends, customer service is, as you know, the world of internet, consumers get so much choice now. And if you have one bad experience, people will go and look around and try and get the best price, make it easy to do business with. You look at some of these stats here, 82% buy more from companies that make it easy to do business with. Example for myself, I used to use eBay a lot, now switched to Amazon. The reason I do is because sat at my lunch break, I don't have time to call someone, send an email, web chat. Go on there, what's the price of this? Or even on the Amazon Kindle now, you press a button and you get video. That extra service makes me go back to Amazon because it's very simple to buy something, it's very quick. I know I've got someone that can answer questions if I have them, if it doesn't make sense. It's the same for holidays, it's the same if you're buying cars with, down at Mercedes, for example, web chat, you want to know about the car, when can I get a test drive, you don't have time to sit waiting 10 minutes on a call, just want the answer there and then. So again, this whole conversation about contact centre, people traditionally think of these big warehouses, people on headsets, you've all seen the show, the lady taking the tea around. It's changed really. An agent is anyone in a company that interacts with your customers. Are they taking calls? Are they answering emails? Have you got any SLAs around if someone sends me an email? In the past you may expect 2-day return may have been okay. Kids today, millennials that are employees, our customers expect a response within 3-4 hours. So are you measuring how quickly your agent, contact centre, are responding to your consumers? We had a pottery company in yesterday, and a 20-year-old Ericsson system, and they have 12 agents, if you will, that people ring up about broken plates, and they said, look, it's a real issue, and they, to everyone else, go, oh, it's broken plate, but to them that's a real critical business issue. And we said, well, what about when them emails come in, you get priority that you want to respond to those guys and quickly respond to say, okay, appreciate you've got a broken plate, what can we do around it? Get bad experience, they go to the competitors. So if you're not thinking about it, no doubt other people will be. And 9 out of 10 consumers want support while online. The other thing with social media is really key now. 5 years ago you had a bad experience with Virgin Holidays, you go down the pub and you go, that was really crap. Tell your mates around the pub and it wouldn't go any further. You've all seen now when you go on Twitter, at Virgin Media, my plane was, or I paid too much for my subscription this month, what a really bad experience. Other people start chipping in. Suddenly that 5 conversation goes to 10,000 people. Again, social media is really powerful, but you need to have a policy around how you're dealing with it, who's seeing it, and being able to react quickly. So there's technologies that are coming in, already available today, where you can get alerts and be able to respond quickly and negotiate that issue quickly. So changing market, absolutely something that's relevant and need to be thinking about. Talked about the Wi-Fi, as I said, it is so relevant about connecting. I look at my little brother and sister and I ask them if they've made a phone call to their friend and they look at me with cross-eyed. The kids don't phone each other anymore, they WhatsApp, they Snapchat, they online Facebook. They all want connectivity. If you go to the Vodafones, the BTs of the world, if you get a mobile phone contract now, it's not about minutes and data and SMS anymore, it's all about data. 4G's coming, until that's there, Wi-Fi, everyone wants connection. So again, we talk about that idea of when someone connects, do I have my guest network, do I have my employee network, do I have a dedicated network for managing or uptime and maintenance? What about if you could have one network and you partition it off and using Active Directory, for example, or something where Mike Wheadon from Avaya comes in, connects it to my PC, it says, okay, I know that's Mike Wheadon connecting, I'm going to give him access to the internet and to the corporate network. Joe Bloggs walks in with his iPad, connects to the internet, is clever enough to go, okay, I don't know Joe Bloggs, so I'm going to check his iPad, A, is first safe, there's no viruses on it, and B, I'm only going to give him limited access to the internet so he can't start downloading YouTube videos, draining the bandwidth for everyone else. So we've got some really interesting Wi-Fi propositions that allows that connectivity and automation so that you're not spending time people draining your network. So very important and food for thought. IP Office is a platform, some points here around audio conferencing. Does anyone use audio conferencing today? Do you use a third party or do you have an in-house one?
We've got.
You've got Avaya? Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else? Yasin use audio? No. No. A lot of companies we do talk to, maybe it's just 3 people on a call. Me and then I'm a customer, I ring up the sales desk and I say, look, I've got an issue with my Hoover. Okay, I don't know about your Hoover, what I'm going to do is bring in a technical resource on the fly, I can see he's available, that's a conference. The other version of conference is at 11 o'clock, you meet me with a number, this is the PIN code, we all join in, you can have up to 64 participants on one audio conference, up to 128 concurrent, and that's out of the box. You're not having to pay a third party. A lot of companies I talk to, they say, yeah, we pay BT Meet Me or Power Out Hours, you're not on the tube, we go on there. 50p joining charge, 20p a minute, suddenly you've got 10 people joining that, can get quite pricey. So, 500 quid a month that you're spending, £6,000 a year just on a third party audio conferencing comes built in with IP Office for absolutely no additional cost. I'll talk about some of the applications that it does run shortly, but this whole thing around presence reach, IM, CTI integration, being able to see when customers come in, screen pop, it's all quite basic stuff, it's been around for a long time, but it does it very well, but it also does it on a number of different applications as well. So it gives you that change from an old thought of a telephone is my desk phone, instead I, the user, get to choose I'm the telephone, whatever device I want to use. Which brings me into sort of different application. You might go, wow, there's a lot of applications there, why would I need all of those? But the idea is with Avaya, it's open standards, and the user gets to choose the communications of their choice. And all of them have the same user experience across any device you choose. So what we have here to touch upon, I think someone said link integration. We do have a link plugin, and again, Nick will talk shortly more around it, but that gives you the best of both worlds. So you get the nice sexy layout on your desktop, which brings in the link presence, it works very well. But making a telephone call on link, as soon as your PC dies, you haven't got a telephone to do it. So having the best of both worlds, you can get the enterprise telephony behind it, call control from the desktop, but equally having the link part of the element. So that's absolutely, we say if you've got link, let's complement it. Flare, another great one. It's an application on iPad. Basically turns your iPad into a telephone, but it also turns it into a point-to-point video device. turns it in to be able to IM on the fly. So if I'm a sales guy sitting in a hotel in Hong Kong, we had it with a music agency. He was the manager was the global international manager for certain DJs and rock bands and stuff. He goes abroad to America, to the Middle East a lot. And his challenge was that I said, the conversation we started was, when you go abroad, how people contact you. Well, I've got an American SIM card when I go to America, I've got a Middle East SIM card when I go to China. Okay, well, do people know when you're abroad? Oh no, they just try, and I have to tell them before I go. Okay, what about if we just get the one number? All they know is they have to ring your one number. Whenever you're on a Wi-Fi device at your hotel in America, connect to it, someone rings your desk phone, your iPad rings at the same time. They have no idea if you're in your office. That customer experience and being able to be contacted, plus the international calls he's making are going over the internet rather than over the GSM or over the local network, thousands of pounds cost saving to him. It was game changing. He did that for a number of his other agents around there that travel around. Real use case, and it's simple to do. That application is free, it's part of a use license, and you can give it, manage it, and allow your user to have it. Other things, same application on smartphone, we'll show it in the demo room later. And equally the 1X portal as well. So this is a really key feature and application. It allows you to control any phone of choice. So if I'm sitting at home, for example, instead of having a VPN phone, chunky bit of plastic sitting at home, doesn't look very nice on the mantelpiece, what you can do, through a web browser, you log in on your PC, and it comes up with full call control. So you'll see again, you've got the call control here, and that gives you access to be able to transfer, conference, record on the fly. You've got all of your corporate directory, your personal directory with present, so you can see when people are available, even though you're sitting at home. Plus you can have some other applications in terms of visual voicemail as well. What it allows you to do is your home phone can be your work phone for the day. So I can tell it, say, right, I'm sat at home today, I log in and I say, please forward all calls to this, my telephone number, 01189, that's my home telephone number. Instead of me picking up the charges for that, what it does, it sends a signal to the main IP Office box. The IP Office box rings my home telephone, I pick it up, and then it makes an outbound going call to the customer or the person you're trying to get hold of. They just see it as me in my office. Again, it's a way of allowing users to be able to work at home for no additional cost. If you have a snow day, it happens in the UK, rain day, people can't get in, why does business have to stop? You give them the flexibility to be able to continually work and keep your customers connected. Where's IP Office gone? Look, 2-3 years ago, it was dedicated PBX on a bit of tin and only scaled to 384 users. Avaya, in the mid-market, developed IP Office is one of our 2 core products now with the wrap of everything else. We have Communication Manager in the big enterprise. We have IP Office now, as we said, it scales to 2,000 users today. What else does it do? We talk about some of these buzzwords, virtualization. Everyone, or 90% of the people we talk about are looking to virtualize some of their applications, whether it's their email exchange, their CRM systems. If you're already going down the route of VM, why not take your telephone system and put it as an application on your VM? It reduces rack space, it reduces energy saving, makes management and resiliency a lot more real, and it future-proofs you as well. Software upgrades rather than hardware upgrades, they're all available, and again it begins that whole total cost of ownership over the 5-year, 10-year of the system. You've got that roadmap to do so. Branch sites, IP Office scales today over 32 sites. The next release at the end of the year it's going to go to 50 sites, 100 sites. If you are, you might say, well, we've only got 1 or 2, but again, if you've got 2 or 3 remote offices, you want to connect them up and have them on one telephone system, you can do that. You don't have to start having disparate systems that you manage, and it can all be centrally managed from one place. So as an IT manager, I can sit there and I may have an office in Manchester. Someone calls me at 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon from Manchester, says, oh, we've got a new starter on Monday, can you please set them up in the system? And you're going, thanks very much guys, I've got to travel to Manchester, real pain point. Instead, you can actually just log on, clone a user, copy and paste, push out the system, set up within 5 minutes, rather than having to go and replug, reset up, command a new user into the system. Very simple stuff to do. Again, we'll see more of it. You know, Mike, as I said, video, security, connectivity, we all talked about it, but you can see as a scalable solution, it's come a long way in the last 2 years because Avaya see mid-market companies of your similar size and complexity having these challenges, and it should be something that drives that call. With that, I'll stop talking. Any questions before I pass on to Mike for video? No? Mr. Brennan will also.
Thank you very much.